Kelly McGlynn is live in Burgaw right now. What are you seeing now, Kel?
Yeah, so within the past maybe like 5-10 minutes, the rain has picked up, and I am starting to see some legitimate snowflakes mixing in. And we did get a report too up in Watha, which is just north of us, that snow was starting to mix in with that rain as well. And let me tell you, it is frigid outside. Right now it's around 34 degrees here in Burgaw, feeling like the middle and lower 20s. So you factor that in with all this moisture that's on the ground, you betcha you're going to see some slick spots late tonight and early tomorrow morning. However, if you can safely get us some pictures on what you're seeing in your neck of the woods, we can spread that out to the community, get the word out on who's seeing what. Now keep in mind, not really expecting freezing rain here. What freezing rain is just rain freezing on the surface as it makes contact with the ground. But if you do see some sleet, which you hear that ticking noise, I always say sleet has a beat, so that kind of ticking noise would be sleet. If you hear that, report the sleet. And of course, if you see snow, we'd love to hear it or see it too. If you can send it to See It, Snap It, Send It. But please be careful on the roads tonight and tomorrow. And also keep in mind, you can check all this information and use your interactive radar on your WECT mobile weather app. Reporting live in Burgaw, I'm Kelly McGlynn. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Several schools are...
This is meteorologist Kelly McGlynn with your first alert weather.
Winter weather advisories issued for all of southeastern North Carolina, with the exception of the immediate coastline in New Hanover County and also the immediate coastline in Brunswick County. But if you're looking for any significant accumulations, you have to travel further north. The sweet spot to see anywhere from 3, 4, 5, even 6 inches of the snow and sleet will be northeastern North Carolina, there under the bullseye to see the highest amount of accumulations. But for us, not completely discounting the chance for that changeover late tonight into tomorrow. So timing things out hour by hour, that rain snow line kind of just taking its time sinking south as we make our way through the rest of this evening. So areas further inland will be the first to likely see that mixed precipitation, possibly some rain, sleet pellets, maybe a few snowflakes mixing in before that changeover to all snow. This line continuing to sink south. This is around 11 o'clock. This is probably making its way through portions of Columbus County, Pender County, New Hanover County. Areas along the beaches still seeing that plain old rain, but eventually this continuing to work south. We're ending with an all snow event as we head into early Friday morning. Maybe a few lingering snowflakes as you step out tomorrow before things are all said and done, but you'll want to watch out for some slick spots. Yeah, actually, we were just looking online too for our friends at the National Weather Service. They've been saying that they've been seeing some reports of some sleet pellets mixing in with that rain near Hallsboro and Whiteville. So again, if you have any reports to pass along, we'd love to hear it. You are our eyes out there. If you see anything, be sure to let us know. And in terms of the difference between sleet and freezing rain is rain that freezes when it hits the surface. We're not expecting that in this typical situation here. If you hear any sleet, we say sleet makes a beat. It's that ticking noise. So if you hear that, make sure to report it to us, and we'll send it out to other folks across the area, spreading the message on when that transition will happen later on this evening. But for right now, many of us seeing that chilly rain, even a few heavier pockets too, still mixing in mainly along coastal Brunswick County, some of those heavier pockets. Again, reducing visibility in some spots too. That rain snow line still staying to our north, getting closer to 95. This eventually sinking south as we head throughout this evening, overnight into tomorrow. So eventually making that transition over, but really not expecting that much in terms of accumulation. You have to travel well north to see anything more significant. Many of us likely seeing a coating. Further inland areas could be seeing maybe an inch, possibly 2 inches overall. But once all is said and done and we're past this wintry weather, we got to talk about temperatures, because we're going to plummet down. It's going to be frigid the next couple of days. Moving through tonight into tomorrow morning, main temperatures, or your air temperatures, dropping down to the lower 30s, feeling like the lower 20s tomorrow morning. Really not getting that much better either as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures growing mainly into the lower 40s, feeling like the 30s for much of the day, but then it gets even colder heading into the weekend. Regular air temperatures dropping down to the 20s. Saturday morning, it could feel like the teens. So we have lots to talk about coming up later in the broadcast, John, and a better outline of who's going to expect what in terms of that sleet and snow. Back to you. Here's your satellite and radar composite across the Carolinas right now. Some wintry weather noted here to the north and west of us. For most of us here in southeastern North Carolina, that steady, chilly rain, even some heavier pockets too showing up still on our radar. And also getting reports of some sleet pellets mixing in mainly in Bladen County and Columbus County near Elizabethtown, Hallsboro, and Whiteville. So
this is meteorologist Kelly McGlynn with your first alert weather.
And we're jumping into your hour-by-hour forecast model, looking at temperatures, wind chill, and future radar. This happening in about an hour or so, where that rain snow line slowly starting to sink south. But not to notice here too, your temperatures, a chilly, cold rain for most of the day today. Temperatures mostly in the lower 40s, feeling like the lower 30s. Those cold north winds really packing a punch in terms of how it feels out there. Not to mention that chilly rain, a pretty steady rain too at times. Some heavier pockets expected too, so you want to take it easy on the roads as you head home tonight. We'll move forward around 3 hours from now or so, right around 8, 9 o'clock. We're going to stop this as the snow rain line continues to sink south. So possibly some wintry weather here for portions of northern Bladen County, Cumberland County, portions of Sampson County, Robeson County. And again, that's continuing to sink south heading through the evening. This is around midnight tonight, is where likely some of us will be seeing that change over to some sleet or snow before all is said and done. But the further south you go, the longer that rain's going to hold on to. So with any of this kind of producing some wintry weather, the ground's already going to be pretty wet, so most of that melting right into the ground there. So overall, basically ending here on a few snowflakes as we head overnight into early Friday morning. Maybe a few flurries left, areas closer to the coast tomorrow morning. But this is a pretty brief time period, so many of us really not picking up any significant accumulations. Again, you have to go further north to see that. But again, tomorrow morning, we have to talk about those temperatures closer, getting close to I-95. We got to look outside in Southport right now. Usually you can see the Oak Island Lighthouse in the distance there, but again, visibility being reduced. Right now, your visibility in Southport is reduced down to 3 miles, so keep that in mind too. It's 41 degrees in Southport, but we factor in those north and northeast winds at 20 miles per hour. That makes it feel like the lower 30s out there. So lots to talk about in the coming days in terms of some changing weather. But as we get a look at your temperatures and wind chill values right now, many of us sitting in the upper 30s, lower 40s, and it feels like the lower 30s outside.